Hi everyone, Chop Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Valee EP, Good Job, You Found Me. This is a new celebratory EP from the Chicago rapper who just signed to Kanye West's Good Music label, which again is why the title Good, G.O.O.D, capital letters, Good Music, Good Job. You get it! Of course, he has worked with Kanye recently. He's been dropping some pretty hot singles on the internet, the most notable of them being Womp Womp. Valee is not the most original rapper who you're gonna find on today's current trapscape. His delivery is pretty subdued, very amateurish, with a slight hint of melody worked in there sometimes. His voice isn't as low-key or monotone as other rappers who have an equally subdued delivery like 21 Savage. But Valee is definitely one of those rappers whose intent is more to pull you in than to jump out at you. Even when going relatively aggressive on a track from this EP, the song Skinny, where he can be found loudly bragging about the money in his skinny jeans. Even when going relatively aggressive on this cut of the EP, Valee's voice kind of hits like a warm breeze out of a hairdryer. His off-tempo awkwardness also makes the cut kind of a hard listen. That awkwardness does occasionally work in his favor, like on the song Shell, which sounds enjoyably weird, endearingly clumsy, over this bassy and skeletal trap beat with all of these bouncing and kind of muddy analog synthesizers rolling over each other like dominoes. There are a couple of songs on this EP that I think are likable. Outside of that, I'm having a really difficult time seeing what all the buzz is about in regards to Valee. Because for weeks now, I've been seeing tweets and article after article saying, this rapper stole his flow from Valee, this other rapper stole his flow from Valee, this other rapper stole his flow from Valee. And I'm thinking, okay, everybody's stealing from this guy. He must be the next big thing. He must have some great ideas bubbling around in his head. I mean, Womp Womp, it is a pretty fun song, and the flow of it is kind of unique. But honestly, the material on this EP, the quality of it, leads me to believe that whatever happened on that single must have been a fluke. Because the only track on this EP that borders on being amazing is the cut with Pusha T, and I would attribute a lot of that to Pusha T. Because there are so many songs on this thing that are devoid of anything that is truly attention-grabbing or memorable. A good flow, a good energy level, some memorable lyrics, even a sticky hook. The instrumentals are just okay and very basic a lot of the time. Most of this EP leaves me thinking, what is the point? The song I Got Whatever, for example, makes the Migos look like they put an extraordinary amount of effort into their music, and they notoriously spend like 25 minutes on a song. The song Juice and Gin is another boring as hell cut that is so slow, Valee sounds like he's pretty much just talking over the beat, which again is a very cheap and basic trap instrumental. The fat bass and the eerie synthesizers on the track V Lone are kind of a positive though. I kind of like the claustrophobic mixing of Valee's vocals on that track and some of the weird metallic plinking arpeggios. It's a somber little chord progression. It sounds vaguely lo-fi overall, which again kind of adds to the weird appeal of it. Valee's performance on the track does very little to keep things interesting though, as his flow is just okay, and he continues to have very little to rap about outside of his jeans and what's on his feet. Which I'm not necessarily against on principle, but you gotta give me something else. Like you have to put it in such a way where it's funny or entertaining or clever or smart or outlandish. But no, the lyrics are generic, the instrumentals are generic, the songs are barely there, the hooks are barely there. This is so painfully average and unremarkable that it's almost offensive, and I am not hearing like what makes this dude a flow wizard. Because I heard very little in the way of any kind of flow that would be worth stealing by anybody across this entire thing. I'm feeling a strong 2 to a light 3 on this EP. Transition, have you given this thing a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like, please subscribe, and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. And yeah, that's all. I'll see you guys in the next one. Anthony Fantano, good job, you found me forever.